Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about genetics, basics of genetics. So the basics of genetics go as follows. First, let's try and understand what do we mean by genetics. Genetics is a way to understand how genes are passed on from one generation to another, and those genes are then responsible for transmitting different traits. The traits could be physical, the traits could be chemical, the traits could be uh, mental, the trait could be emotional, all kinds of traits. That includes uh, the type of blood group that you're going to have, the shape of your chin, the color of your eyes, the texture of your hair, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is a general understanding of the cycle of life, and as you can see that you start with a baby, you grow into adults, and adults have two sexes, and then they produce sperm and egg, which come together to form a zygote. Zygote is the union of a sperm and an egg, and then the zygote undergoes rapid divisions, and for the next 9 months it grows inside the womb of the mom, and then the mom delivers a healthy baby at the end of 40 weeks of gestation, which is the gestation in human beings. And in this way, the cycle continues. So then the baby is born and the baby undergoes some more growth and differentiation. We'll talk about differentiation later on and try and understand. Okay. Our next slide is to help you understand what exactly are genes. So genes are nothing but a chemical composition of a very, very long strand. And those strands are further subdivided into small pieces called nucleotides. And nucleotides come together to form chromosomes, and chromosomes together form the genetic material. So if you look at genetic material, if you were to extract some cells from a person and you were to put them under the microscope and process the white blood cells, you would end up getting a picture. You would take a photograph of those chromosomes that are arranged in a particular arrangement by size and length, and by looking at that, you'll see that they form 23 pairs of chromosomes. So all humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes. So that is known as the diploid number 46, and the haploid number is 23. So if you were to look at a sperm, it would have 23 chromosomes. If you look at an egg, it would have 23 chromosomes. And if you would combine the two, you would end up getting 46 chromosomes. So that is how the zygote forms with the union of a sperm and an egg. As you can see, this one is a karyotype from a male. If you look at the top, if you look at the bottom right, you'll see an X and a Y. So two X's make up female chromosomes, and one X and a Y makes up a male chromosome. Okay, so the male can contribute a X sperm or a Y sperm, while a female can only contribute an X egg. So that is how you're going to decide whether the baby is going to be male or female. So that's just a general introduction of things. Okay, this is what I was referring to is a single nucleotide. So a single nucleotide is made up of phosphate, base, and sugar. The phosphate and the sugar form the backbone. The base, which is a nitrogen base, forms the rung of the ladder. And you can see this is half of the ladder. The other half is on the opposite side. So if you look at the rungs of the ladder, they are A, C, A, T in this particular example. And if you imagine on the other side, you have the other half of the ladder. The A will match up with the T, the C will match up with the G, the A will match up with the T, and the T will match up with the A. So you can see that on the right side. That's how it forms it. And then you spiral it and you end up what is known as the double helix. So double because it's got two strands, helix because it's like a spiral staircase. Okay, so that's how you see nucleotides. So let's take a look at what a complete cell goes through in its life. Every cell in your body, every cell, trillions of cells in your body, they go through a whole series of changes or phases or stages, and those are known as the cell cycle collectively. So collectively, the cell cycle consists of a phase known as interphase, which is all in yellow, and then you have the blue one, which is during which the cells are actually dividing. So when the cells actually divide, they go through a mitosis process of mitosis, and the mitosis breaks up or distributes the nuclear material into two separate sections, and those go to the two new cells that are formed. We're going to go into more details about this later on as we talk about and understand this, okay? So no need to worry about that for the time being. Okay, our next thing is, why do cells divide? So cells divide obviously because they, when they grow too big, they cannot keep up with the demand of nutrients coming in and waste going out. And at the same time, the communication becomes too big. Imagine yourself to be in a large classroom which is so big, like probably like a football field, and you have one professor or one teacher talking to a group of people who are scattered over a football field. You will realize that the communication is going to be very poor, and there's going to be very little room to understand what's going on. So with that in mind, understand that the whole idea of cell division is to make cells more efficient. And in order to do that, we need to also find out what signals the cell. So our next time, we're going to be talking about cell signaling and how cells get the signal to divide and undergo mitosis. All right, so that's what I have for you for today. Thank you.